Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Public Utilities Commission meeting for Hudson for Tuesday, June the 7th, 2002. Take the roll call, please, first, Jace.
Jace is not here. Michelle will take the roll call.
Yep. So Pat Nolan, Joyce
Here.
Hall,
Here.
Susie Coram,
Here.
Patrick Moose, Carrie Rice,
Yes.
Andy Hassan, and Dave Prissel.
Okay, so we do have a quorum.
Okay, since we have a quorum, we can begin the meeting, and the first item would be the approval of the last meeting that we had on May the 10th, 2022. If anybody
Move
that
to
would,
approve. This is Carrie. I move to approve.
I'll second.
all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. The first item of new business would be the Magni Pay application number 24. We have a presentation.
So in your packets, Magni Pay application number 24 for the wastewater treatment plant 2020 improvements. Is the amount due is $23,404.41. Also attached is SEH's recommendation that we do approve that. They have gone through and looked and approved all the work that they have submitted. So
I'll move to approve.
I'll second.
Seconds. I'll
Yes, this
second
is
it.
Carrie. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Well, the next item would be the change order number 5 for the wastewater treatment plant.
okay, so again in your packet, change order number 5 for the wastewater treatment plant project. We're looking for approval in the amount of $116,012.02. All the supporting documentation is in there. If you go to page 4 of your packet, or what I'm seeing, page 4 of 63, if you click on the PDF there, it does go through and list the 12 change orders that we're proposing tonight. Along with some explanations and some pictures. So I guess if Caleb or John want to just maybe walk us through the change orders here, just to get an explanation of what's actually being proposed.
Yeah, I can do that. And if you have any questions, you can interject, or we can go back to that at the end too. So if you're looking at the photos, item 1 might be a familiar photo. It was also on change order 4. What the photo shows is 2 RPZ backflow preventer valves, and we were having issues with water hammer and water surge. So in change order 4 had included surge arresters as well as repair and maintenance to the valves, and removing one and installing a spool piece as a troubleshooting step. What this item is the valve itself, and we weren't able to include it on change order 4 because we were still verifying that the price was acceptable. So that's what it's the valve, and that's what item 1 represents. Item 2, so every light in the plant was replaced with an LED, including the exit lights. And then 12 of the exit light locations, the ones that were specified, were no longer manufactured. They got discontinued. So we had to buy a 1 level up sort of model for 12 of the locations. Item number 3 is, like to think it's a wash, but it is an ad of $35. What the photo shows is 3 pipes that come out of the wall where pumps used to be, but are no longer required. So there's going to be a gravity pipe that kind of goes across, and that white pipe that's shown in the photo, that's a temporary PVC pipe. The permanent solution will look a lot nicer. But this item is, instead of completely removing those pipes in the wall, instead capping them really close to the wall with some ductile iron blind flanges is what they call them, and then reusing one of the holes instead of drilling a new hole. And we are recommending it. It's always, for $35, we thought it was better to drill less holes in the wall, and then the blind flanges are a little nicer for long-term leak prevention. Item number 4, there are 6 large main pumps at the plant, and they have what are called mechanical seals, which is what allows the pump shaft to go into the pump without leaking out. These mechanical seals are pretty expensive, I think now about $2,000 a piece, and they are designed to run without any cooling water. But at these pumps, one of them was starting to have an issue, and we thought it was inexpensive long-term insurance to add the cooling water at the 6 pump locations. Item 5, the yellow arrow is pointing to a check valve in building 10 and with all the sludge pumps. After we got some of the pumps running, it was determined that that check valve wasn't needed and was a better value to be returned back to the supplier and credited to Hudson. Item 6 is only a sample of photos. So on the left is some conduit that runs along the outside of the building facing the highway, and the right photo is some handrail. Some other items would be some miscellaneous HVAC duct and some conduit or drain pipes in a handful of buildings. All of these items would be things that we would add to paint. So that's what that item includes. And then item 7 is also paint related. In building 8, which is on the north end of the site, it was freshly painted. And then in January, during the really cold week, the HVAC unit belt broke, and it took only 2 days to get basically freezing temperatures in that building and a lot of condensation. So it did damage the paint in about a third of the walls. So that item is to repair that paint damage. Item 8, the yellow arrow points to a cover that's over a hole in the wall for an exhaust fan. And then on the other side of the wall, the old fan that we're replacing was blocked, or, up to the hole. But there was a louver missing. So we had to add one in that opening. So it won't be blocked anymore. It'll be an opening with a louver. Item 9 is one of 2 locations where the boiler radiant heat hydronic pipe insulation is recommended to replace. Is in pretty tough shape. That particular photo was in the old screen room. Items 10 and 11 are related to asphalt paving. So 10 would be adding for a driveway entrance on the south in connection to Front Street. And item 11 would be adding, about 3,000 square feet of paving area so that the whole parking lot is new all at the same time. And then item 12 is for the dimensional letter sign on the tank wall that we had introduced at the last meeting, and I think Kip will be talking to the planning commission after this too about. So those are the 12 items. Those are the 12 items.
Okay, thanks, Gil. So is there any questions on any of the change order items?
Move to approve.
Second.
I'll second it.
I just have a discussion question. We have approved change orders in the past. Within what range of the budgeted change orders is this? Do you happen to know, Kip?
I'm I'm not understanding within what range. I don't know what you mean by that.
Well, we budgeted for, some
It's
things.
like a percentage of the overall project.
So if you go back up to page 4, it lists the title is Hudson WWTP improvements, and then it's got the DNR Clean Water Fund contingency allowance. So if you go through that, if you go down to the end of that first paragraph, it says remaining contingency after this CO5. So that's change order 5.
Yeah.
So after this is approved, we will still be retaining about 309,000.
All right, you answered my question. Thank you.
Yeah. Now keep in mind there will be a change order 6 coming because we do need to. We're still waiting on prices for the fencing that we had discussed and a few other items. So there will be a change order 6 coming.
I do have a question now. The driveway that he was talking about, the asphalt.
Yep.
Was that never part of the plan originally?
So
or
if you look, so if you look at the drawings that are on there, page 10 is where I'm at.
Mhm.
The light gray area that's on, I'm just got item number 10, the light gray area, that is already in the project that to be repaved because that was all tore up as part of the project. What we're doing because of trucking issues, we had a bunch of trucking issues this year. There's one way into that plant and one way out of that plant. And that's off of the Highway 35 entrance and exit right there. So what we're doing, and also, just to cover up the pre-treatment building, we're adding that 1,300 square feet. So we can actually put a driveway out to Front Street. It just gives us another option, for entrance and exit. The gate that we're proposing is just going to be a man operated gate, not an electric gate like what's going to be going in the main entrance. So we're just proposing that extra, just to extend that driveway out, in front of the pre-treatment building, and so we can use that as an exit. Item number 11, if you look at the gray again, that's what was bid out. So the gray area is included in the price of the project to be repaved. If you actually look at the asphalt that's down there, it's very, very, very beat up. And it didn't make any sense to kind of just cut and paste pieces, sections of asphalt all over the place. You know what that's going to look like. Then we have maintenance issues later on, that we have to deal with. And eventually we're going to have to replace it anyway. It just makes sense to do it all just right now. So.
Sure. Okay.
Doesn't say
Thank you.
anything about the thickness, but I imagine this is extra thick to accommodate the trucks as opposed to
I
just.
don't even, to be honest, I don't know what, what the inches is off of that, Caleb, by chance? I'm guessing 4 to 4. I'm guessing.
Yeah, I think the asphalt itself is 4, but we're doing like base correction of like 2 feet. So a lot of stability comes from that base. So it is designed for the truck traffic.
Yeah, because we do get the tankers in there. So it will be designed for, for their load, for their weight also.
Is Front Street a truck route?
Front Street is, well, I don't think it's really a truck route, but we don't plan on using it for trucks. The issue that we ran into, Patrick, was when Highway 35 was being redone, we couldn't get in and out of there. That was the issue. So as long as we're putting that fence up, we thought, well, we might as well just make it an entrance, just in case we ever need it. We don't really plan on using it. But also if you look on that page 10, item number 10, we're adding that 1,300 square feet, but right to the east of that, south of the pre-treatment building, east of the new addition or the new blacktop that we're putting in, that's all going to be gravel back in there. So we want to be able to use that for parking. There's no parking down there. So we're just adding that all in.
Cool. Yep. Thank you.
So did we do
Well, there was
we
a
did a
motion
vote.
and a second. I don't know if we voted though.
okay, well, just redo it again, just in case.
Well, looking for a motion.
No, we've already had the motion in the second. I move to approve.
Okay. And I seconded it.
Okay,
So all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. Then the next item is the wastewater treatment plant construction summary.
Yep. So in your packet again, you're going to see the memorandum from Caleb, just kind of giving you an overview of what's kind of going on. You've got the pretreatment building exterior precast concrete surface was painted. The activated sludge tank exterior walls were painted, and the Vector truck pump station concrete was poured, and the concrete walls were painted. So you can actually see in there see the curb that's coming up. That all has to be moved anyway. So that's kind of what it's just part of. And if you look where the truck is on photograph 3, that's the area that we're proposing to replace with the blacktop back down in there. So just kind of gives you an idea of where you're at. That's basically just a construction summary. I had it in the wrong section. It should have been under the informational purposes only, but I wanted to get it in here just in case you guys had any questions for Caleb or John while they're on. So if not, we don't need any action on the summary. So if there is any questions, otherwise, John, Caleb, you guys are free to take off.
Thank you, guys.
All right. Thanks, you guys.
Then we have the 2021 CMAR.
Okay, so we're presenting tonight the 2021 CMAR, which is a compliance maintenance annual report. Hudson Utilities has received a grade point average of 4.0 or an A for their efforts in 2021. This is a great accomplishment given the size and scope of the wastewater treatment plant project that has been ongoing in 21. My recommendation is to accept the 2021 CMAR and present to the Common Council for information. And I'd also like to commend and congratulate the wastewater team on a great year and thank them for their endless efforts and dedication. Those guys worked extremely hard this year, as we all can imagine, with the project that was going on, the disruptions in that plant, the moving the process, up, down, all around, whatever it took to be able to work on certain sections of the plant and things of that nature. And as you can see through the CMAR, nothing really stands out. They got an A on every section, which amounts to an overall A or a 4.0 grade point average. The last page, let me just get to it here. So page 20, So page 26 kind of breaks everything down on your influent, your BOD, your TSS, all of your different sections and the letter grade that we got for each section. So we are not required to do we're not required to do any official actions except other than accept it. And then what will happen, I'll actually just include this in for the next city council, just for information for them. So, but we do need an action to accept this, so we can actually get it turned in and registered with the DNR.
I move to accept the report.
Looking for a motion to accept this.
So moved.
Second.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, thank you. And again, I would like to just congratulate all the staff that's down there. They just did a phenomenal job this year. So congratulations.
Yes. With all of the work down there, my goodness.
So next would be the security system at well 10.
Yeah, so hopefully I added this late. Hopefully everybody's got it and sees it. we've been having numerous vandalism issues going on out there. We've been tagged 3 times in the past couple weeks. We've had kids out there in their vehicles doing donuts in the grass, tearing up the grass. You can see through the pictures just what they're doing out there. You know, they're painting the generator. I mean, they've painted the building. There's a wall. You can kind of see that in the second picture. Those are not the kids, so don't go looking for them. But the wall, that retaining wall behind, that's been tagged. The posts out front, it's getting ridiculous. So we actually did go out. We purchased some trail cameras just to throw out there, so we maybe can catch them. Hopefully, we'll see what happens. They're out there right now, but we need something a little more permanent. So I did get a hold of CWS, who is our security company that we use throughout the city. Same people that we have here, looking at putting cameras out. So we met out there the other day, yesterday, I believe it was. Their total cost to put cameras out there, it's 4 cameras, so we'll be able to capture everything that's out there. $2,565. There also will be, we don't have internet out there, so we will have to get internet. So I don't know what the cost of that is yet. This is a non-budgeted item, so we would need to take this out of capital funds, which we have. So that's kind of why I said on my recommended action, approve a new security system at well 10 with a range from $2,500 to $3,500. Because I don't know what the internet's going to cost to get out there, so we can actually view this system, and just attach it right to all of our other cameras and everything that we have. So I am looking for that. Like I said, it is a non-budgeted item, so it would have to come out of capital.
Kip, this seems really prudent, especially as we enter the summer months. I move to approve.
I'll second.
All in favor? Aye.
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 I got a
No
question, Kip.
opposed? Any?
Yeah, go ahead. Oh,
Have you caught anyone doing this yet?
I've caught a whole bunch of kids skateboarding. I've caught a whole bunch of kids riding mini bikes. The cops have been out there. They've questioned them. They didn't feel it was them. But ever since we put the cameras up, now they haven't been back.
Sure.
So maybe they seen them. But I mean, in the past, we've also caught people parking out there. It's a secluded area. I mean, they get back in there and you don't know they're there.
Mhm.
They can sit there for hours, especially, at night and different things. So
Sure.
No,
The only reason I say something is we had some tagging going on down here too, and they apprehended a suspect. So we're going to have them.
maybe it's the same one, maybe they seen the cameras and now they're
Could be.
scared to go out there. Who knows? I don't know, but no, we have not. But like I said, we've been hit 3 times. That generator's been painted 3 times already.
Sure.
Um,
Well,
Have
nothing
you had
teaches a
trouble at
lesson
any
like
other?
scrub brushes.
Have you had any trouble at any other locations?
No, but that's, that well 10 is out there on
Yes.
31 Canary Lane. So there's nothing around it. It's just.
Yeah, and you really
all of
can't
our-
see a lot of it from the freeway.
Yeah. And all of our other facilities, are pretty, houses right next to them and things like that, where I think the kids are a little more apprehensive about, doing anything there. So. All right.
Well, if we can't get wired internet, there's always wireless internet too.
Yeah, IT is looking into it because we need to get that signal back here so we can actually view and see what's going on, on a timely basis. So yeah, they're looking into that. And like I said, that's why I kind of just put 25 to 35 because I don't know exactly where it's going to land. I know Brian had talked about we need some type of a wireless remote so we can send it over here. And I don't know. I'm not an internet guru, but we'll be able to get it done for that.
Yep. That'd be item 4.1, project status report.
Okay, none of this, again, we don't have a whole ton going on new projects that we did this year. So we just kind of updated the Magni project, the wastewater treatment plant project. So really not a whole lot on there. And we don't need any action on that.
Kip, what's the projected completion date?
Let's keep our fingers crossed for the end of June.
Really?
We're waiting on some parts yet for our main pumps.
Sure.
We're waiting
I
on
just know
that.
it's 90% completion here.
Yeah, it's been 90% completion for a couple months now.
Okay.
They're there. A couple of the guys are down there almost on a daily basis, but the painters are finishing up, the electricians are kind of finishing up. So they're going through punch lists. We started punch list items, so they're kind of going through a lot of that stuff, getting buildings checked off, things of that nature. So, and I know we had talked about doing a tour down there, and we will. It's just, it doesn't pay to go down there until it looks a little nicer and it's a little cleaner, and you guys aren't going to be walking on nails and over 2x4s and pipe. So
We'll wait for that paved driveway.
yeah, that'll be nice.
Was there any hail damage to any of the buildings?
Yeah, we just had the insurance adjuster was just here today, as a matter of fact. The thing with the hail damage, we had hail damage at every single one of our facilities. So, we've got 15 different buildings. Everything had hail damage. Our insurance will only on steel. So if there's, dents in the steel, soffit, fascia, things like that, unless it's structural, the insurance company only covers 5% of the replacement cost. So chances are we're not going to be replacing a whole lot. We do have two roofs, the 3rd Street valve station, and we have a small little building on Wisconsin Street by the Wisconsin Street Tower that the roofs the shingles and everything are damaged on them. So we will be getting those replaced. But for the most part, the only other thing that we have two vehicles, my vehicle and Jim Fry's vehicle. We were both here yet that day when that hail came through, and our vehicles got damaged, but we can't get in until the end of June to even get estimates on it. So we'll be getting those fixed. We'll probably be getting those two roofs fixed. Now, I don't know if their insurance covers 100%. We'll find out when that happens, or when we get the estimates back, and kind of go from there. But yeah, so it's about where we stand.
But the hail wouldn't damage any of the coatings on the tanks or towers?
Those things are pretty thick steel. Yeah, we didn't see anything up there. That's pretty thick steel. And when they paint those, I can't remember what the millimeter is, but it's pretty thick paint that they actually apply to those. So yeah, we didn't see any damage on the towers.
Well, that's the main thing. Yeah.
Yeah, it'd be nice if they'd repaint all of our towers, wouldn't it? At $450,000 to $600,000 each. I wouldn't mind that. I'd take it, but it's not going to happen.
No.
Wishful thinking. So yeah, we don't need anything on that project status report. So
Then do you want to talk about item number 5 then?
yeah, 5.1. So I threw this back up. It's been a while since we've talked about it. I don't believe everybody, a couple of you weren't even here when we discussed this. The storage facilities here. So we had talked April 2020. We went for bids on a new vehicle storage facility to be located east of the current service center facility. This was done because of a shortage of vehicle storage due to the loss of the garage at the wastewater treatment plant. If you remember, we used to have a really nice, I believe it was a 3-stall, very large garage. So just when I say 3 stalls, we could get way more stuff in there than just 3 vehicles, not like at your house. That all basically got removed, and that's where the new pre-treatment building is. So we lost all of our storage down there. The only thing that was retained was one bay. So we had talked about putting a facility up here to house, all the vehicles and anything else that we had to store, with the understanding that when we bought this facility, we were hoping to get everybody under one roof. The storage, the vehicle storage building, never came to fruition. COVID hit. We started splitting everybody up and sending them all different ways just because of the COVID reasoning. But now I'd like to get everybody back here again. So I'm just bringing this up just to get it back on everybody's radar. Kind of just for an open discussion on what if anybody has any thoughts maybe on different ideas, if people have thoughts on maybe what we could do, but the problem didn't go away. I mean, COVID kind of helped us out for a few years by not having everybody under one roof. But it is my intent to get everybody back under one roof. So I would like to bring this, just for discussion. We spent a lot of money having these plans drawn up and all that kind of stuff. And I understand, putting up a building ranged anywhere from, what was it, 450,000 to 625,000, just depending. But I kind of wanted to get your guys' thoughts on, do you want me to start pursuing this maybe a little bit more again, some different options, or are we just absolutely not, it's not going to happen, and then I don't have to worry about it and try to figure something else out. So I'm just throwing it out there for open discussion.
I think it's worth pursuing what the options are. I know that when this was discussed previously, some of the comments were that the amount, up to 625 seemed really high compared to some of the things that others had, were aware of for building something that size. So, and I think it had to do with wood versus steel construction and some different things that were involved. So I think it's worth pursuing to see what it looks like now.
Yeah, you're correct, Susie. It was, it was, a lot of it has to do with the codes that we have to follow.
Sure.
You put something up, if you own a farm and you're going to put up a 60 by 100 foot pole shed, well, that's easy. You don't have air quality that you have to deal with. You don't have fire issues that you have to deal with. All the state code that comes into play is really what kind of started jacking this thing up. There was the issue of wood versus steel. Do we put a wood building up? You're not going to get the life expectancy that you would with a steel type thing. So yeah, that's kind of what I'm looking for is, do we want to, because I can take this and just kind of start replaying with it, again. I mean, we had all the bidding documents are done. We
Sure.
spent quite a bit of money on this thing already.
Yeah.
Obviously, I don't know if it's going to get cheaper,
Sure.
but I'm just I'm thinking ahead for 2023 budget is what
Yeah.
I'm kind of
I think one of the other things that was part of the contention, if you want to call it that, was having a bathroom in there and the cost of the bathroom, if I recall.
That's all stuff that definitely can be looked
Sure.
at. But like I said, I didn't want to. I agree. I think the cost is a lot.
Mhm.
Anytime we start talking that kind of money, it raises everybody's eyebrows. That's for sure.
Mhm.
But like I said, I didn't want to start kind of thinking 2023 budget and, going over these plans. It's been 2 years since I've even looked at them,
Sure.
kind of going over these plans again, if there's no desire to potentially do something, for storage.
Mhm.
So that's kind of why I'm just kind of looking for straw poll on what everybody's thinking.
Yeah, I think it's prudent too, Susie. We always have to be looking ahead. The city is not shrinking, it's getting bigger. So.
Mhm. I
Well,
think we had a
since-
lot of other things going on at that time as well. You know, we were pretty deep in that other project, the wastewater treatment plant, and it was a lot going on. So,
Yeah, it was.
mhm. And if I recall, this is budgeted for, you said, correct?
No,
Or not?
no, I'm looking at 2023 budget right now.
Okay,
So, but like I said, I don't want to spend a whole lot of time on this. If the consensus is no, Kip, we don't think you need any storage.
sure.
Or, you know, make it work the way it's working today. You know, I guess that's what I'm looking for. Or, hey, yeah, you know, let's maybe, you know, spend some time on this and, you know, see if there's things we can do to, you know, help possibly minimize, you know, or shrink that cost a little bit. Things of that nature.
Sure.
So that's the only reason I'm even bringing it back.
Okay. I'm comfortable with pursuing, you know, bids or whatever it is we need to do to find out more.
Yeah, I think it's a good idea to plan ahead.
Oh, plus, though, we got the West Wisconsin, the Ellsworth Biosolids facility coming up too, though.
Yeah, that's going to be coming up. We'll have more of a discussion on that probably in the next couple of months. This building that we're talking about right now, my thought is water would be paying for a lot of this. I don't know if sewer would be paying for any of it. I haven't given it much thought since 2020, since, you know, for 2 years, but I can go back through all my notes and just try to figure out, you know, what we want to do there. We actually did have good news. I was planning on doing 7th Street million-gallon reservoir potentially next year. We had an inspection on that. We got all the inspection results back, and they are not recommending, but basically they're saying that facility should be fine for at least the next 3 years before we have to do anything major to it. And then we're looking at a complete overhaul, you know, which we're looking at, you know, anywhere between 450 and 550,000 to overhaul that, to rehab it. So my plan was to put that in 2023, you know, for projects, but I'm thinking we can push that. The next one is Deer Path, which is up in North Hudson, up on, is that Summit? Is that where that is? Yeah, Summit Lane. That one is in need of rehab too, that tower. But with that one, there's a lot more involved than just the standard process that we go through. There's carriers up there, and the issue with that is, you know, AT&T, Verizon, they're all up there. The issue with it is when we paint, they all have to come down, and we don't know where they're going to go because there's not room up there for what they call bulls. A bull is a temporary pole that they set up, and you might have seen them where it's just a big pole. It kind of goes up, and then they put their stuff on there temporary, and then they have to take it off our tower, put it on there. Once we're done, remove it from there and put it back on our tower. So we are actually looking at possibly setting a monopole on our facility, or by our facility up there. I had an initial talk with Verizon already on it. They love the idea, and they're actually willing to have discussions on contributions from Verizon. So we're thinking the other carriers would be also interested in that, to where they make a contribution to build the monopole. They move to the monopole. We still charge them rent, so we don't lose the rent. But the plus side to them is every time they move, it runs them anywhere between $150,000 and $250,000. So, you know, just one move is going to cost them $500,000 per carrier. So if we set them on a monopole that we own, we can still charge rent for it. But once they're on that monopole, they don't ever have to worry about coming off. So in the long run, you know, where we paint towers every 15 years or any maintenance that has to happen, it saves them money in the long run. So we are looking into something like that. So I'm not anticipating any major projects, you know, tower painting, different things like that in 2023. So long story, just to tell you that. Sorry.
Well, we got the sewer utility and water utility cash reports. Item
Yeah,
number
we did
6.
we did not get them from finance. So we'll include them next month when we get them.
Then number 7, discussion and possible action on claims.
So you've got the claims in there, and this we would need a motion in a second and a vote on that.
I move to approve.
I'll second.
All in favor?
I've got
Signify
a
by
question.
Any
Aye.
questions?
Yeah, what's all this, the Village of North Hudson payables?
A lot of that stuff is your storm sewer that you're seeing coming through. We do, some of that stuff might be adjustments in accounts on their surcharge that they charge. I think it's, what is that, 15%, I believe, or whatever that percentage is that the village charges. So if you can kind of see some of them are, you know, a lot of them are storm, which because it goes through the utility bill, it shows up on ours. But some of these are just, you know, adjustments on their sewer surcharges that they were either over or under.
Okay, thanks.
Well, Joyce made a motion. I guess I'll second it to approve it. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Then the last item would be adjournment.
Move to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
No opposed.
All right.
Meeting is
Thank you,
adjourned.
everybody.
Thank
Thanks,
you.
everyone.
Have a good night.